Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new series. So today we're going to be starting Vintage Survival, where we start off with no money at all. As you can see, our bank account is totally empty, but we do have this very old tractor here, a very nice old tractor, and we do have a very small pedestrian mower and a spade or a shovel. And that's as far as it goes. If you were to ignore our house, which is up there, I'm going to show you that in just a second. Yeah, we have no other machinery. We just have one house with a few outbuildings which we can't access and a very small patch of land with some grass around. So yeah, this is as I said, a nice tractor to start off with, I think, because although it has 5,621.4 hours on it, it's good because it's a tractor, and at the same time we have the dumper on the front, so we don't need to have a trailer at this stage. The concern is, what can we do if we only have this and a mower? Well, obviously we can mow, but we can't put any crops in the ground, we can't do any kind of forestry, we don't have a chainsaw. So it is a concern. We'd need an axe or something to do a bit of forestry. We do have some trees, but not many, just the ones that you see here. This is our private driveway. We're just heading up to the house now. But it's a beautiful setting, and I'm going to put the map name on the screen now. I can't pronounce it, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it, but all I can say is it's beautiful. The link is down below, so yeah, clearly a lot of work has been put into this. So here we are at the house. As I said, we have these very nice looking old wooden outbuildings. We can't go in there, but they just look really nice. And we have the house over here, of course. And then this is the field that we start off with. And this really is it. We have nothing else. So when the time comes to put a crop in the ground, this is the area we're going to have to start with. We're going to have to make it as productive as possible. And then, obviously, with the money, we're going to attempt to expand, but this is going to be fairly tricky. Look at these nice tomatoes here. It's a challenge, but that is the whole idea behind it. So you might be wondering, how long is this going to go for? Well, it is a temporary replacement for Survival Roleplay, which is returning in a few weeks' time, but if it is successful, this series will continue, probably once a week or something, because I think the idea behind this is great. Our property boundary is just here, so around from the rock to the tree, but it means we do have grass, so I think that is the only thing we can really do. Cut some of this grass and attempt to get it picked up. Oh, of course we have another little wooden shed here and a bit of rubble. So let's go and pick up that mower. It has been paid for, and we'll pick up the spade as well. It's nice that we get a full tank. So if we can cut some of the grass and then use the spade to put it into this dumper on the front of the tractor, we could then transport it to somewhere which will buy grass. Grass isn't worth much, but it's something. We just need to be able to get the wheels turning, and then once we've sort of got something in the bank account, obviously then we can start to buy a seed drill, buy some seed, possibly a fertilizer spreader, and it should pick up momentum, and from there we should start to succeed. But I'm not going to lie to you, this is going to be tricky. This is quite tough. It's not supposed to be impossible, it's just going to be difficult. If it was impossible, it would be boring. But I'm now going to show you the beautiful countryside around here. It's lovely. Let's go to the store. And somehow, I'm going to have to fit the mower in the front of this tractor. Well, there it is. One thing I want to say is with this series, because the map is actually running quite a few placeables, it uses placeables for the buildings and some of the animal pens. If we are charged the maintenance fee for those, obviously I'll correct that. So if you see the money randomly go down for some weird reason, then I'll rectify it. So here we have the mower, which will just slash the grass down. It won't mulch it at all, we don't want it to be mulched. And also the shovel, very important. But it would be nice when we can actually upgrade from this, because it's going to be a slow job. Right, so hopefully somebody around here is going to help me lift this into here. Yeah, we'll put the shovel in second. Very helpful people. So, yeah, we have got the shovel in there, we've got the mower on the front. Doesn't look too safe or elegant, but yeah, it'll be fine. It's nicely wedged. Let's head back to the farm and let's start doing a bit of mowing. We need to raise around £3,000, which I know is going to be difficult, but that is the price. Well, £2,750 is the price of the seed drill. This tractor is, I think, 22 horsepower, so 22 should be enough to be able to pull this seed drill along. Yeah, it requires 20, and that is fantastic for us. This is all we need to get started. So the best way of getting this out is probably going to be to tip it. We'll just very carefully tip it out. Right, good. So there we go. We've got the mower out, which again, it has a full tank of fuel, which is going to allow us to really get a lot done. We should be able to get the whole area cut today. Actually, what I'd like to do is just cut a smaller section, get that picked up and sold, because then we'll know exactly how much money we can make. Well, roughly how much money we can make. And we also won't finish the episode with nothing. It would be quite something to finish with the same amount that we start off with, which is 0. So off we go. What is the best area? Probably just over here, I would have thought. Okay, we're just going to have to get used to it. That's alright. Yeah, so if we cut down our garden first, because clearly this place is very overgrown, we can really tidy the place up. And as I said, we don't really have a set boundary, but the neighbours' area, their lawn, if you can call it a lawn, sort of just turns into ours. Yes, everybody around here has clearly not been looking after their grass. We have some rubble, which will probably want to be removed eventually. And we have, well, I've got quite a few weeds in this area, so that's no good. But I do know that our land goes from a tree over here to a rock over there. There's the neighbours. Well, their house anyway. This is where we need to go across to. Yeah, so if I tidy up this whole back area, it should look nice, and we should have a nicer lawn then as well. It does help if I don't crash into rocks. Got a few bits of brush, but I think that area in there will probably be turned into the field. We'll eventually expand the field. But this is such a nice place. You sort of feel like you've already got everything you want, even though you do need the money for food, obviously. Beautiful. With the exception of the necessities, what more could you ask for? Well, that's the entranceway all tidied up, looking much nicer. The lawn up there looks good. We just have this piece here, and then all of the area around the field. But as I said, I won't do the field today. The reason why is because we might get a better machine in the future, so that we can just bag it at the same time. And actually, there is the... let me just think. There is definitely a ride-on mower with a collector, which we could use. That would be interesting, because then we could just bag it up and tip it into the front of the tractor there and sell it, because it's just simply grass that we're selling. Okay, so I'm just going to tidy up this section and then we'll start scooping. That should do. We've got a few weeds over near the house. Just very carefully remove those. But this place is in a bit of a state. Clearly the previous owners didn't care for it too much. Right, that's good. It's very good. Park it over here. Switch the engine off. And we will see how effective the shovel is. Okay, the shovel. It's going to be fairly back-breaking work. I have already put 2 shovelfuls in here. But unless we do this, we're never going to progress, because this is the only way that I can make the money. Well, unless anybody else can think of anything, I think grass is the only solution currently, and it'd be good if I don't tip it all on the ground. It's kind of pointless scooping it up to drop it. I must say we can get quite a bit on each shovelful, so that's good. Just make sure it all ends up in the front of the tractor. Is everybody okay with me calling it a dumper? I think a dumper is probably the most appropriate name for this section on the front. But it's filling up slowly. Slowly but surely. So we need like a miniature loading wagon or something. Because I think a mower which can bag at the same time, essentially a ride-on mower, it's not really going to be in our price range at the moment. We'd be looking for something which only costs a couple of £100 maximum, and nothing springs to mind. I don't know how much money we're going to make from this. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay, that was uncalled for. Having a bit of a tantrum with the spade. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to continue. I'll continue scooping. Scooping all this grass up off the grass and putting it into here. I don't think it's going to be that long until it's full. It's looking promising. But when we look at what we've got left to do, that's when it becomes a bit more daunting. So, yeah, I will see you hopefully when that is full. Right, I think probably one more shovelful and we'll be ready to take it to whichever place will accept it. I've no idea. But the prices are going to be probably in the region of £100 for every 1,000 litres. I think we have 2,000 litres, so we're probably looking at getting about £200 for one load, and we possibly have enough here for 2 loads, just about. Right, okay, yeah, that's full. Good. So, let's head off. Okay, well I've checked and there's only one place that would buy grass. And it's not too far away from the store, so that's good. But just look at our lawn, that is looking so much better than before. I was just having a think about other collection systems, and of course we have to fit in with the vintage theme. So a modern rider mower would be out of the question, but an older one would be fine. And I know that Tim's Modding has the Alice Chalmers mower pack, and I think that actually has a tow behind sweeper, which you can most likely pick up grass with. Certainly in real life it would be used for picking up leaves and grass clippings. I think in this game it is for grass clippings. So that would be great, that would be perfect. Depending on the capacity of course, and the cost. But I think we probably would be able to afford it. But then this is working quite effectively, and there's only so much grass that we can mow, and we do need to focus on the arable field as well. The concern about the arable field would be harvesting it. We'd need such a small machine, a small cheap vintage machine to harvest it with, like even smaller than what we had in Survival Challenge. There are many things to consider. Anyway, yes, the place we're going to is just in that direction over there. Oh, mind the bridge over the beautiful river. There is the store. The place we're going to is, I think it's that building just over there. Our next turning on the left. I don't know about you, but I think that this kind of video style is the best. I've always preferred it, when you start really small and then you have the satisfaction of working up to the bigger stuff. Of course in this series we'll be working up to bigger, older machines. Have to be like 1980s, not calling 1980s things vintage, it's just there's only so many vintage machines in FS. But we probably won't go newer than the 80s or the 90s. 90s definitely is not vintage. Am I at the right place? I think it's this place here. So how much can we make? I can't wait to find out. Well, looks like we're having technical difficulties with that, probably because it's not a bale. But I know that we have 2,500 litres, and the current price is £148 for 1,000 litres. So all I have to do is calculate it. And there we go, £370. I think that is really good. That is a good price. So that is going to at least get us started. We do have a bit more grass to pick up. But when you consider the actual expenses in this game, the value of all of the equipment, even the really old stuff, it's quite expensive. Very high numbers. So yeah, when you started with nothing, £370 is just unbelievable money. If you're playing when you've already got £500,000, 370 for all that work is just not even worth it. It's amazing how you appreciate things more when you have less. Right, well I'm just going to finish off. We'll get all of that grass that we've cut today picked up and sold, and then we'll see what we finish off with. It's looking like it's going to be around £500 or £600, but that at least has got us started. The tricky part is deciding what the best thing is to do next. Do we continue mowing different areas of the farm around the field, or do we attempt to get a drill? Doesn't have to be the one which I found, that is £2,750. I could hunt around for another one. But even that vintage drill seems a long way out of reach. Well, that is amazing. I have filled this up again for the second time, and we do still have some grass lying around. Not much, just a few little pieces here and there. But that should be another £370. So I will go and get that sold as quickly as possible, and then we'll get the final pieces just tidied up. But just look at the transformation here compared to when we first moved in. At least we have a nice short lawn with most of the clippings removed. Could never get tired of that view. I suppose we could even mow the driveway once we have something more mechanical to pick the grass clippings up with. Don't want to be doing everything with a spade. And there we go. That is everything tidied up, looking so much neater. And yeah, we've got a bit of exercise while doing it. It's a really nice track, a really nice map. Everything here I've thoroughly enjoyed. It seems like the perfect setting for this type of video, for this type of series. So yeah, obviously we are working towards this, we're working in this field, getting it planted. We certainly should make use of the grass which is growing around the outside of it, on the headland. But yeah, there's so much to do. So much work to do, but such a fantastic setting. So please do post your suggestions and opinions down below. And yeah, for this first episode, we're going to leave it there. There's no point taking the tractor with the grass in because it's not full. And we can only do 13 miles per hour. So we'll wait until it's full again. And then we'll make another £370 potentially, although the price might start to go down. Okay, so until next time, see you again soon. Bye for now.